The energy for the month of June in the soap opera of the stars is divided into two distinct parts, where it begins with a lot of action and then calms down in the last 2 weeks. I'm an intuitive coach, and this is my energy report for the month of June. Now, in May, we had this whole rocket launch analogy that the guides had going on, and now we are moving into the spaceship in how we need to look at this energy. In the first couple of weeks of June, the crew on the spaceship is going to be super busy. A big part of why they are feeling busy right now is because this is the beginning of their journey to that not so distant star, and they are having to put into practice all the things they've had to train for. Of course, some of the crew is more experienced than the others, but there are still the initial checks and corrections to be done before they can feel that their effort so far has been successful. The newer members have the added challenge of actually living on a spacecraft while supporting the senior members in all of this activity. Now, who are these members of the crew? They are the different parts of your psyche. The newest members of the crew being the new approach to life you have developed in the last few months that needs to become a part of who you are. So let's look at learning, because that seems to be the key energy here. Learning is defined as having 4 stages. One is unconscious incompetence. This is where you don't even know that there is a skill you don't have. Second, conscious incompetence. This is the stage where you realize you would like to have a skill, but you haven't figured it out yet. This is where you would typically look for a coach. This was the energy for all of February, March, April, and some parts of May. Now, the third is conscious competence. This is where you've learned the skill, but you still have to think through the steps before you perform the action. We're now here, is what the guides seem to be saying. We've learned how to set ourselves up for success, and we're assured we're not going to default back to the ways that weren't working, but we're still not completely comfortable in this new skin. So we have to go through the checklists, keep ourselves accountable, and have the reminders that ensure we stay on track. The first 2 weeks are spent in this stage, also part of the third week, exciting but not completely comfortable. Now, when we look at the last week and a half of June, it is a stage of unconscious competence. This is the stage where the brain has developed enough neural pathways to almost completely override the previous programming. Our new way of being and belief system is pretty much second nature to us now, and our practices have become a habit. The second part of June promises to be that, and we can afford to celebrate our coming this far when we reach there. Let's look at some of the important themes. Now, this may be playing out in different aspects of your chart, but the overarching focus of the energy will align to these themes. So the first theme is spiritual growth. Now, this may have nothing to do with a belief in God or an external force or even an internal higher self, but this will have everything to do with understanding the importance of knowing yourself better in this lifetime, in this physically embodied form. So the energy is saying, wake up to yourself, look within. Who are you? What do you want? What is unique about you? The second theme is about expressing your individuality. Once you know yourself, then of course, this is the second theme. As you get to know yourself better, you are going to want to express yourself as well. So that expression is 100% the ask of the planets at this moment. No more hiding behind the reasons you've had to stay hidden. And I think I've addressed these reasons to stay hidden in previous episodes as well, which you can find on my YouTube channel, The Soap Opera of the Stars. The third theme is contribution. You want to make a difference. You want to be a part of the solution, and you're feeling very clear now on you're either thinking about or in the process of or have moved on from the shackles of other people's expectations and approval, and you want to do what you want to do for yourself and yourself only. So you're very clear on what is this solution or what is this change that you need to be, which you also want to see. So, last but not the least, when it comes to relationships, whatever it is that has been shaken and stirred since February is beginning to settle. You're seeing the way forward, you are more at peace with being able to fulfill your own needs rather than be reliant on the other. You may still be in the relationship as long as it wasn't toxic or abusive, and you can feel that the balance of power has normalized. So you just feel better, is what the guides are saying to me on this subject. Now, what I would suggest you start in this month is look at developing a practice that allows you to spend time in reflection. So, journaling is great, but add to that a meditation or a breathwork practice. And what I would advise you to stop is being more interested in other people's lives than your own. This really is time to let others follow their own paths while you focus on yours, because there's so much to do. You're very special. I mean, in all the downloads I receive, this is the one thing I get over and over. Every one of us, every one of you is special, is unique. You have something that the world needs, whether you know it or not. And the guides, the universe, the energy is saying now get going, get it started, etc., etc. So let's do together an energy reset that will really help you navigate this energy. And I would suggest looking into my eyes so that you connect into this energy where I'm already connected to the guides and you too connect in to us. And you may feel something in your system. If you don't, that's okay as well. So the guides here are showing me these walls around the heart centers. And heart walls are usually not to be worked on by yourself. It's important to work with an energy coach who has experience with it. And I will be announcing a workshop later this month to work on heart walls. But let's just do a quick exercise during this time together. These walls have been put in place to keep you protected, but they also keep you from following your intuitive guidance. So it's kind of that security, but that security also holds you back. So it's important to let them down just a tiny little bit. That's what the guides are saying for everyone receiving this transmission. I'm sorry. So I'm just receiving the information. So breathe through your heart center and imagine that there's a cage of ice all around it. It may look blue, it may look white to you. And you don't want to let it go completely and immediately by yourself, but you can break a window or a door through the cage. So it's not really breaking, but allow the guides to do it while you're connected to this energy. You know, they're just opening up this little window and this little golden light which can emerge. It's all the love that is emerging from your heart center and this golden light which is coming back in, and it ensures none of the bad stuff can get in, but the good stuff can find its way through. So and just allow yourself to feel the energy of this opening. I literally have chills running down my spine right now while I feel this, and just this sort of pulsing in my heart center where we collectively open up this window, place this golden light pane at the window, quite high tech, and just take a few deep breaths, make the intent to find the right person to work with if you don't want to be part of the workshop that I will announce. And once and for all, just let go of this tiny piece of this heart wall and see what it does for you. I really hope that this resonates with you. Please subscribe to this channel for regular updates. I post every week on Friday for the week coming up, and I would love to hear from you. Now, prior to being able to receive the downloads for this specific energy report, my guides expect me to study the astrological and human design transits impacting the period of time the report is meant for. So, which is why this is an intuitive report, but it is informed by astrology and human design. And the reason I call it a soap opera, because the information I receive on how it's playing out really feels like the planets and luminaries have their own little dramas and stories happening with plots and subplots. And we here on Earth are impacted and need to work with that energy to ensure we're able to navigate life in the best manner possible. So to know more about what I do, you can find me on Instagram as Pallavi108, Pallavi108, or on LinkedIn as Pallavi Nath, Pallavi Nath, Nath. You have this YouTube channel. There's a Medium publication called The Soap Opera of the Stars, and I'm also launching a podcast on Spotify with the same content, just in a different format. So whichever works for you, you can listen to. As an intuitive coach, I work with clients one-to-one to reset their energetic blueprints for maximum impact. This could involve an energetic reset to their timelines that includes events from the current lifetime, right from conception. It could include events from past lifetimes that need to be cleared, or ancestral wounds where trauma is being passed on generation to generation. So I work with clients for a similar reset for their relationships, for their business, or for the space they either live or work in. So it can be personal, or it could be addressing a theme in life, such as these. I have also recently announced a product which is an intuitive energy blueprint report. It's about a 30-page report which covers the first report that you get is about your purpose, and then you can also get other reports covering various aspects of the lived experience. So these reports can be generated for the person concerned, which could be you, or for a loved one. They're similar to the soap opera of the stars in the sense that they talk about the energy, but they're very specific and customized to you, your energy blueprint, why you are here, what is that characteristic that defines you, whether in your purpose or in love or in career or in finance, how that interacts with what you want to learn, how that interacts with your past lifetimes and future lifetimes. What are the important years in your life so far, and what are the important years over the next 10 years? And really it looks at giving you not just this information, but also what are the energetic practices that you can use to help you. And with these reports, I provide a 30-minute one-to-one session where you can get further information about the report. The other product I've also recently launched is I get questions all the time from my clients and from others saying, I have this decision to make, or I'm confused about this, or I'm anxious about this, or I don't know how to address my children about this, or, there's a situation at work, or should I go for the next date with this person, or so on and so forth. So all of these, we all need answers. And therefore, I've launched the Intuitive Answers Express, where you can send me a question through a form you can fill. You can find that form on Instagram or connect with me. I'm asoneis.pn@gmail.com, which is asone.is@gmail.com. Or you can DM me on Instagram, or you can comment here, of course. And I would be happy to share the link for that form, and you fill up the form and I will respond to you within 24 hours, sometimes 48 hours on a voice note. So that's another product I have. Thank you so much for spending this time with me, for letting me share what I do, and also for letting the guides download to us all that they wanted to say. See you soon.